Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley. Welcome to Madden 18 on EA Sports. Today's matchup features two teams looking for a win. It's the Broncos coming in at 2-7, going up against the Panthers, who come in at 3-6. With that, let's welcome in our fine broadcast team. Here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Larry, we are at the foot of the Rockies as EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the picturesque city of Denver, Colorado. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Carolina Panthers and the Denver Broncos. And hello again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And, Charles, we look at this Bronco team. They come in the midst of a pretty bad stretch here, loses of 5 straight.
So many different reasons teams hit the losing skids, but the best way out of it, something has to happen positive early in the game.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Panthers. We're in November now, so this is where you really need to settle in, start getting down to business.
And in baseball, they talk about the dog days of August. November, these are the dog days of football, trying to get in position for the big push.
This will be fielded at the 6. He spins free. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. And they tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
It'll be a gain of 4, and it'll be 3rd and 10 now. The offensive starters now for the Broncos.
The growth of Demaryius Thomas since college has led him to be a consistent Pro Bowl receiver in the NFL. In college, ran a lot of the deep routes, almost all the time, almost exclusively. The NFL has added in everything else. Big-bodied guy, excellent production, but still his stock in trade, getting downfield and catching the long ball.
Now a play fake, and it's Simeon. And incomplete here on 3rd down.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, helped force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. Fourth down, so on is the punter, Riley Dixon. Christian McCaffrey deep for Carolina. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Panthers now for their opening drive. And they'll be led out by the NFL's most valuable player from 2015. It's Cam Newton.
I think his task in this game is really simple. Eliminate the turnovers. He threw 2 interceptions last week. I can't believe I led with that because he had 3 touchdown passes.
Right.
So there's a lot of good that he did, but he's got to take care of the ball better. The ball has to go to guys wearing the jerseys that they're wearing this week, not the opposition.
Now a first down throw for Newton. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. They'll give him 8 on the play, and that'll make it 2nd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Just 2 yards to go here on second down for the offense. A shotgun snap for Newton. And this will complete right side to Funchess. Newton finding Funchess for the Panther first down.
And he's loose, and boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
On first down, Newton eluding the pressure right. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be second down.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on first down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable second and short.
To throw on second down is Newton. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. A little too aggressive defensively, and the flag comes out.
And no one trying to cover is going to like a call going against them, but you have to like the effort there. Went for the interception, just unable to get it, and the flag did come out.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
Here's Newton now on second down. Throw right side is going to be caught by Samuel. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. And here's a look at the defense for Denver.
I know we're still playing 11 on 11 in the NFL, but Chris Harris's ability to move into the slot and be a nickel corner makes me think we should have 12 guys listed on depth charts all the time, because he goes in there and takes away the quick, small receivers, the tall, rangy receivers, and sometimes if tight ends move in there, he can cover them as well with his strength.
Newton on 3rd down. Flushed out right. He can run for it, and he will. Newton able to use those legs and get past the marker to pick up the first.
We just saw a nice example of why teams often bring in baseball guys to teach quarterbacks how to slide in key situations. You want to protect your franchise guy. Make sure he doesn't get hurt. He did exactly that on that play. A perfect slide to avoid the big hit and pick up a first down.
Let's go! Flex round!
Throwing on first down. Browning. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Shane Ray coming in from that outside linebacker spot. He gets him down for a loss of 5.
Here we go!
Off play action. Browning. And his throw is incomplete. Ninth play of the drive now on 3rd and a country mile.
Let's go!
In motion left here, one of their tight ends. Throwing on 3rd and long. Browning. He dropped it. Couldn't hang on in the end zone. So no 6 points, incomplete. Some mistakes already in the first quarter. If he holds on to that one, first down.
Yeah, and I'll guarantee you that at least one defensive back out there has reminded him of that fact, trying to get into his head and hoping that'll affect him the rest of the game.
So a little fortunate there because that one was definitely leaking right.
Without a doubt, maybe about the width of a football or so inside that right upright. But he got it to go.
Now it's Sturgis converted on the field goal. Now he'll send this one away on the kickoff. This is taken at the 3. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Now the Broncos offense, they get set to head back onto the field. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for. It's that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
You know something? You're right, because that's part of it, but that's two different mindsets. That's front office mindset, draft position, where are we going to be and what do we need to get? And then the players and the coaching staff right now, pride. Can they win some games and feel better about themselves despite the fact they have no shot at the playoffs?
And this defensive line will be looking to control the point of attack.
And that's what they've done throughout this season. This is a terrific unit. They play together very, very well, and they don't permit big plays to happen.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up second down here.
Man left, man left. Hey, 4 down, 4 down.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. It's a 6-yard run, leaves him with about a foot or so here still to go to hit the marker with third down coming up. And the defense searches for one more stop here after the run on second down. Simeon on third down. Open man, and that's his tight end, Jake Butt. And he's got the first down as he's up to the 45-yard line. A Bronco first down there, 12 yards on the play.
Coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting into the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
They'll run it now out of the gun. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. So nothing there, but maybe you blame that on the blocking.
Yeah, at some point, you've got to win at the point of attack, and on that play, that was all the defense. They made it happen.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield after a gain of about 4.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. Out of the gun, Simeon. And he will have a man, Demaryius Thomas. A big gain of 31 on third down.
He's come a long way since his time at Georgia Tech. What did he run at Tech? He ran hitches and go routes, essentially.
Yeah.
I mean, but he ran them really well. He averaged well over 20 yards a catch while he was there. And he still creates downfield in the NFL. That big body and that willingness to go catch the football. He's pretty impressive.
And his friends call him Bebe, the nickname his uncle gave him back in the day. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 19 carries, 107 yards.
And the way they ran the ball in last week's game has to be satisfying to their entire staff because they're seeing not just a back gain big yardage, but they're seeing an offensive line really in sync.
If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well.
And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football over time, when you do it consistently, usually translates into wins.
And they're hoping to do it consistently here. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll make it second and goal.
So the myth has been shattered. Every cornerback in the league is not just a cover corner. Some of them will stick their nose in there and make plays exactly as we just saw there. A big loss suffered by the offense after that nice tackle.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And a short pickup there down to about the 9. Only a yard there, and that'll bring us to 3rd and goal.
When we talk about Luke Kuechly, you can't talk about his overall game without talking about his intelligence and how he controls the whole defense. He quarterbacks that defense, and at times will actually make checks just like a quarterback would on offense to get them into the right defense. They definitely were on that play. How about that finish, holding that to a minimal gain?
Oh, it's a touchdown if he holds on. Instead, it's 4th down.
Let's give this defense some credit now. They let the guys get downfield, but when push came to shove, they stood their ground, and now they'll likely force a field goal attempt.
And McManus able to put it through, and that will tie us at 3-3. And that field goal caps an 11-play drive.
That's a lot of offense to run to only get 3 points, but they'll take them. Anytime you can put anything on the board, you run to your sideline somewhat happy.
Here come the Panthers now, set to take over on offense. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right?
And that's caught inside the 30. Touchdown, Carolina. A big play there. His 9th touchdown of the season. And the Panthers strike quickly here for 6 points. Well, you know he can be explosive, and he's ultra-explosive there on the fly route.
And you know how many times we've talked to coaches and we've had quoted back to us, well, you know something? When you execute really well, it doesn't matter if they know it's coming or not. Well, sometimes athleticism beats you as well. He just took off and went. And that's almost like one of your Turkey Bowl games, isn't it? Just go long,
Backyard.
man. I'll hit you. And it worked really well for them.
Sturgis out now to kick this one off. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. A tough challenge here in this one. We'll see if he can duplicate the numbers on your screen that he put up last week, up over 100 and a touchdown.
We were watching tape to prepare for this game. One thing you noted that I totally agree with, great complimentary piece in the last game. You know, they're able to throw it pretty well. He ran it exceptionally, and they hope to continue that same formula in this game.
Complimentary with an E, not an I.
That's my English teacher right there.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. It's a gain of 6, moves him to a manageable 3rd and 2 situation.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
The Broncos on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2.
Set! Blue 90! Blue 90!
So 1 quarter in the books in this Super Bowl 50 rematch. 10-3 the score. Back alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Bronco football to begin quarter number 2. They're up against a 3rd and 2 to start things out.
Tight end right.
Here's Simeon. And this is going to be incomplete.
So much of this game is about leverage. We always talk about low man wins in the trenches. Well, it's like that in just about every position. And sometimes, if you lose that leverage and you're losing the battle, just jump up at the line of scrimmage and try and bat the ball away. And that's exactly what happened there.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10. Curtis Samuel and the rest of the offense heading back out there now. He's doing what he's capable of, having a solid game. Not the most amazing game. He's not over 100 yards, but a good game so far.
And you just know that mentally he feels like he's one catch away from turning it into a great game and starting on that road. And the defenders are well aware of that too. They've got to figure out a way to not let that escalate. Keep him right in this zone here and call it a day, because otherwise he can really decimate them.
Better believe they are well aware of his playmaking ability. Flush to his right. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. 5 yards on the scramble, and that's enough to pick up the first.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
And to give this time to the tailback. And not much. Maybe a yard up to the 29.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on 1st down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. They'll try the air now with Newton. And the Broncos get there and take him down. Newton's Super Bowl nemesis, Von Miller, in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down.
Pretty nice coverage there, but a missed opportunity for an interception. Let's face it, a lot of these defenders, they've got it all. Speed, athleticism, hands, a little bit questionable.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. And that'll skip out of bounds inside the 20 at the 17-yard line. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area. Well, sometimes those cliches really come true, don't they? When they talk about it takes all 11 to play good defense. We've seen that in this ball game. I think the secondary has to be singled out, though. They are in the presence of every receiver whenever the ball's thrown. And this one, they help force another incompletion.
Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. It'll be a gain of 9, and that'll make it 3rd and 1.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
The Broncos on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. To throw is Simeon. And that is incomplete. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and then just continued there with that incompletion.
Yeah, definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
He gets this away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. Here are the Panthers now as their offense comes back out onto the field. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The
leverage.
Big guys up front You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. On second down, here's Newton. And this is incomplete. They were looking to get it to Kelvin Benjamin there. And it's 3rd and 5.
So many qualities coaches tick off when they talk about, hey, what it was going to take to make an excellent quarterback. Accuracy has to rank near the top of every list.
Talk about arm strength, that's great. Mobility, great. But you need that accuracy in there. That one well in front of his man.
Yeah, now they got to face a big 3rd down.
And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. And this will pin them nicely inside the 20 as it's out of bounds at about the 14-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on 2nd down.
On 2nd down, here's Simeon. The Panther rush too strong. They get there and take him down. Jadeveon Clowney leading the surge there. He drops him for a loss of 6. And there they bring pressure from the inside, and they get home.
Yeah, hard to block everyone, isn't it? And on this play, someone did not get blocked. He's the one who got home.
Simeon in need of something big following that sack, facing 3rd and long. Play action. It's Simeon. That's caught left side by Jake Butt. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Bronco 1st down.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
Green 39.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another 1st.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them. Providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
Now a handoff here to his running back. Some nifty running, but it only gets him to the 45. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're not doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Throw left side, caught by Goodwin. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. The Broncos on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This time they face a 3rd and 2. A shotgun snap for Simeon. Got a man. He finds Sanders. And he will have a 1st down as they get him to the ground at the 37. A 1st down as it's Simeon with a hook up to Sanders. And now the passing game here in the 2nd quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it. Now the confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it. We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence. Usually the offense has an answer to anything a defense throws at them, including a safety valve. And that's what they did on that play. They went there, but the defense still made an excellent play and held them to no gain.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by James Bradbury. And he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
Kelvin Benjamin, past the 20. Touchdown, Carolina. Kelvin Benjamin, an 80-yard touchdown. And the Panthers strike quickly here for 6 points. And, you know, you and I praised tight ends in today's game a lot for being just like a bigger-bodied wide receiver. Boy, a play that long from that position, you just didn't used to see that as much.
No, you were really just counting on the tight end position to catch the football and get what they got on the catch. And now it's the run after the catch. It makes them so dangerous. Hard to bring those big guys down when they get rolling.
Couldn't bring him down here. Got into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. It'll be a pickup of 13 on the play, and that is going to set up a 3rd and 1. The Broncos on 3rd down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. A reminder that when halftime rolls around, Larry Ridley will have all the highlights and analysis of this first half of play from our studios in Orlando. Now it's Simeon. Open man is Henderson. That's complete. And that is what you call a hit stick. Put down to the ground hard. That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco first down. Simeon. Left side here to Sanders. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. And it's picked up by the Panthers. And they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Charles Johnson's stock in trade is coming off the edge and getting to the quarterback. He knows how to make some of those subtle moves inside to help in the run game, and he did it right there.
He's an athlete back in high school, played football, basketball, track, so he's a mobile guy.
Mobile guy, made a nice play against the run.
The turnover put him in great field position. They don't want to squander it with 3rd down coming up.
No, not at all, and you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
That one good for 16, and the drive will continue. Now a man whose father won 2 rings as a Bronco. It's Christian McCaffrey. And this time the yards won't come so easy as they'll, in fact, tackle him behind the line. It's already 2nd and 12. The defense hoping to push him back more. Here's Newton. That's Samuel, caught left side. And he'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. And 15 yards there on the catch and run. Out of the gun, Newton. Oh, that was dangerous. Threw it into coverage, almost picked. But instead, they'll keep it on 2nd down.
You're down 2 touchdowns. You just know defensively you absolutely have to come up with a big play. That nearly was one right there.
He looked over at the sideline immediately after the drop and just saw the dejection. They felt it. They thought he had it. Unfortunately, couldn't come up with it. And not only did he drop it, he dropped it in the end zone. They're going for a receiver there. Already has one touchdown in this first half. A second one not to be.
I like where their headspace is, though. I mean, I really like the thought process, right? You got a guy who's already scored one, right? You want to go back to him, continue the hot hand, and make them adjust to you defensively. I like what they were trying to get done, even though they weren't successful. It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep two hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. Oh, and Sturgis hung that one out to the right. Off the mark, it's no good, and this score will stay right where it is.
It looked good when it left his foot, but he kind of sliced it a little bit, and he winds up missing it wide right.
And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number one. We now proceed to the start of the second half. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Out come the Panthers. They'll have it first on offense in the third quarter. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
And now here's a carry heading left. And not a whole lot doing there, as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave him with third and still 7 yards to go.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Throwing on third down, Newton. Steps away to his left. He may try and run for this. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down. So an instance there of Cam being Cam. We know he can use his legs.
And with that big body, it's hard to get him down, even if you get a clear shot on him. Plus, he moves it a lot faster than what people think. And boy, does he have fun playing the game of football.
And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. Over the middle, complete to Samuel. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot.
Broncos coming hard, and it's blocked. And they will take possession of the football right around their own 30. So much for pinning him really deep. Short punt could have pinned him inside the 10. Now great field position the other way.
It's never good when you're punting the ball and your eyes see the ball go back behind you.
No.
In however form, whether it's over your head or to the side, never good. Now it becomes a race to get to the football so they don't pick it up and take it all the way.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively.
Let's go. All right, now look at 56.
To throw on second is Simeon. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down.
Timing is crucial in any route thrown, but when you throw an out, So many things are going through the mind of the receiver. Catching the ball, timing it up with the quarterback. Are my feet going to get down in bounds? On that play, all those things going through his head might have caused him to drop it.
Throwing on third down, Simeon. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Okay, was it a breakdown in protection? Did the running back not pick him up? What does it really matter? Sometimes it's just a great play made by the defense. Big-time sack.
And McManus able to put it through. And the lead is down to 10 now at 16-6. A decent drive there to start the third quarter. They only salvaged 3 out of it, but they do inch a bit closer.
Yeah, still lots of time to go in this one. Take the points, move on, and let your defense try to get the ball back.
And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. And onto the field, here come the Panthers. In motion comes the tight end left. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll take this one up close to the 25-yard line. See if they stay on the ground for second down. Now they'll run on the draw. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. So he loses 3 yards there. Now third down. To say they've kept him under wraps running the football, that's an understatement. He's been completely neutralized.
Yeah, they've essentially taken him out of the game, haven't they? And you know, all the teams say, we're not going to let him beat us. Well, that's exactly what's happened here. They've lived up to that.
Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to fourth down. They got the win last week despite not having any interceptions. Tried to come up with one there, could not. But there's a stat category called PBU, pass breakup. That's important too, and they got one.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it because at least you're there, knocking the ball away. Offense isn't possessing it, making plays downfield. And you just continue to harass the receivers, harass the quarterback, and maybe the big play does occur down the road.
The Bronco offense now set to come back out onto the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that. And they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made it a nice, easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. They'll run it now out of the gun. Finds a seam inside the 40. And he's brought down. 18 big yards on that one, and a Denver first.
How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary. That led to a really nice game.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
And he's got 4 down inside the 20 to the 18.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
And they'll get him down right around the 16. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to third down.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
From the gun on third, Simeon. And a big loss here as he's taken down. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
So it's a third field goal for him now, and he's accounted for all 9 of their points thus far.
And he's definitely keeping them afloat. But we say it so often, field goals are not going to win you games in the National Football League. They've got to find ways to start capitalizing when they get down near the red zone.
And the mile-high air in full effect as that's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Carolina offense as they get ready to take over here. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team...
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the all-pro linebacker. It's Von Miller. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Bronco defense has a touchdown.
Partner, I know it's hard to believe, but sometimes guys who are built with the dimension of linebackers can actually get lost from sight by the quarterback.
Well, they're usually not the tallest guys.
So, yeah, that allows them sometimes to kind of hide down in there, kind of get a little bit lower, and maybe he just never saw him. But, boy, he sure wishes he had. He picked it off and ran it all the way back for a touchdown.
Carolina getting set to take the field. Coming off the pick six, it's Newton. Buying time to his left. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
And he'll get this only up to about the 35. He can muster only a yard there, and they'll be left with a 3rd and very short.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
On 3rd down, it's Bailey. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and got the first down.
Trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
I saw Von Miller in college at Texas A&M, and all I kept hearing about was his speed off the edge to the quarterback. But what impressed me, his balance and his ability to take on blocks and be a force in the run game, as we just saw there.
And he's got him. Got his man on the end route. Complete. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there.
Welcome back now to Denver. All even as we get ready to start the 4th. This is away and a very good kick angled for the sidelines. That'll be out of bounds, and how good was that? They'll say the 3-yard line. That's where they spot it. By the way, 3rd quarter now in Cincinnati as we take a look at the NFL scoreboard. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10. And they give this time to the tailback. And they'll hit him for a loss as he's back to his 2-yard line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 11. I'm no offensive mastermind, but of all the guys on the field to block, you might want to stop him.
Look, I've got a very simple rule. An unblocked defender is usually your...
And I don't know if he made it out of the end zone. No signal. Yes, it's a safety. Well, I don't know if careless is the right word there, but bottom line, here in the 4th quarter, tie game, you can't do that.
You sure can't, Brandon, and not only do you give up the lead, now you've got to turn around, punt it away from your own 20 as well. So it's really a double whammy with time starting to become a factor.
Free kick out of bounds, kicking team.
So they will accept the... And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. And he'll give it here to his running back. He'll get about 4 as he's past the 35 to the 38-yard line.
Brandon's all about pace and tempo now for them. They've got the advantage, so I'm going to put musical terms for you. You don't want to go prestissimo. That's too quick, too lively, right? But you also don't want to slow it down too much. You don't want to go lento. What you really want to be is moderato. Nice and even, nice and steady, get those gains, and close out the game.
I think that chicken parm from last night's gone to your head. To throw on 3rd down. Newton. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. Shane Ray in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it, but it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
Now this Broncos offensive unit ready to head back out onto the field. And the last time they had the football, they surrendered 2 points on the safety. They don't want to do that one again.
No, not at all. It's almost like a bases clearing double, isn't it? Give up a couple of runs.
Sure.
just messes things up for you offensively. But now they've got to go ahead, take it, set it aside, and move forward.
And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
On 2nd and 10, Simeon. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field and it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
The Broncos on 3rd down. They've converted 5 times in their many chances thus far. This is 3rd and 10. From the gun, here's Simeon. Finds Jake Butt over the middle. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. That one goes for 29 yards on 3rd down.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do, and it reminds me.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Luke Kuechly in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. Charles, not to point fingers, but how much of this goes on the shoulders of the offensive line? I mean, look at the 6 sacks last week. That's the 4th in this game.
Definitely the bulk of it does go on the offensive line. That's what they're tasked with doing, keeping their quarterback upright and clean in the pocket. But I think they have to look at, okay, are we bringing in extra people? Is the ball out of the quarterback's hands quick enough? There are a few other factors they have to look at to try and help out, but you're exactly right. It starts with the O-line.
Back to throw, Simeon. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Luke Kuechly, he's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
It's a 4-yard return following a punt of 49. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Curtis Samuel and the rest of the offense heading back out there now. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it?
Right.
Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd and 12. And in this situation with the lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
3rd and long, it's Newton. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get him to 4th down.
I think he's taking an awful chance with the football right there. You've got to lead, you've got to protect it, and he's taking chances putting it out there in a little bit of jeopardy.
Especially in a spot like this, 4th quarter, as you said, trying to cling to that advantage.
Yeah, that one probably should have been picked, huh?
They are in the 4th in Buffalo. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. If they can hold on to that lead to the end, it would up their win total to 7. And Denver getting set to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? Well, a lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and it'll be a 2nd down. They'll fake the handoff. Now Simeon. And he finds a man on a crossing route. A huge play there for Denver. 53 yards.
As we continue to advance in the NFL, as people continue to scout players, they really don't care as much about body types as they care about those guys who can make people miss, run through tackles, and gain all that additional run after catch. Anybody who has that ability, they want them on their team.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on 2nd down.
All right, here we go. Green, 30.
Here's Simeon now on 2nd down. And he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24. Luke Kuechly in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
3rd and long. It's Simeon. And this is going to be incomplete. So here now is Brandon McManus in a big spot. This for a 4th quarter lead. And McManus able to put it through. And with that, they have taken the lead by a point here in the fourth. So the drive here ends with a field goal, and that does give them the lead, but this one is still a long ways from over.
And you love to be able to look up at the scoreboard and see that you're out in front, but then you take one look across the field and see that offense is raring to come back out, and you think, I don't know, the field goals are going to be enough to get us home.
Carolina getting set to take the field. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Escaping the pressure right. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be second down. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. To throw on second down. Browning caught on the left side by Benjamin. Only a gain of a yard there, but it indeed gets him a new set of downs. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Looking to throw on second down. Browning eluding and he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down. Charles Johnson in there to take him down and to take us to the 2-minute warning. So it's Panther football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Off the play fake. Browning. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down. So hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down.
Pass interference. Defense.
So the defense helping him out a little bit here late in the 4th.
Yeah, and you're exactly right. And when you're the one doing the chasing, you'll take a little help from the other guys, won't you?
They'll go option to the short side. And he probably should have given that one off as he's going to get hit and taken down behind the line. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 14. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Every year I go to the combine and marvel at the speeds that linebackers are running nowadays. They run like DBs. And let's face it, they know how to finish plays, too. Eyes up, head up, run right through him.
He'll drop it off to McCaffrey. Now the Broncos are going to take a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This for the lead in the final stages. And that is no good. Wide to the right. And this score will stay right where it is. So it's an empty trip downfield there as they get a missed field goal on 4th down.
And I didn't see anything in the setup. It's a good snap, good hold.
Yep.
He just pushed it, and that one never wanted to come back.
All right, here we go.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Going to give this time to the tailback. And not much doing. He'll get this only up to about the 36. And now we get a timeout called on the defensive side of the ball by the Panthers. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. That'll leave him with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. 3rd down now following the run. Now a handoff looking right. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line. And the Panthers coming out now. They're only in need of a field goal, a decent amount of time on the clock. So tell me if I'm wrong. You don't have to be too panicked here.
No, not at all. I agree with you. And this is where your preparation and your confidence comes into play. They've worked on these situations.
Yeah, they practice this all the time,
They practice it all the time. They know what they want to get done. And in a lot of cases, the great competitors, they love this situation. They think they can go ahead and get it done.
They practiced it. We'll see if practice makes perfect. Back to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. Back to throw. Throwing left side, it's complete. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. So the offense has it 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. They'll look to throw. And that's incomplete. Clock stops with 10 seconds left. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. No chance at all. Way easier said than done.
He's back to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Shane Ray in there to take him down, and the clock will roll. Well, we saw a close game that kept us on the edge of our seats down to that final whistle. And right before that final whistle, defense with one last exclamation mark there, getting the sack to end it.
I love how you phrased it because we were waiting to see what would happen. Obviously, we thought something would happen downfield. Instead, it happens in the offensive backfield, and that's your ball game.
So for the Broncos, it's a rare victory for them as they get that record back to 3-7. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Baltimore Ravens. Meanwhile, for the Panthers, they're going the wrong way as this will drop them to 3-7 now on the year. And they'll try to rebound next week as they head to Glendale to take on the Cardinals. That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, find us on Twitter at EA Madden NFL. The Broncos are winners as we say so long from Denver.